The daily routine of Park Jinsung began early. He usually woke up at 6 a.m. every morning. He forced himself to think, I got this, I will do better today, I will smile, by 6:30. He left the house almost as if saying to someone, see you soon. He walked toward school. But today felt different, not an ordinary day. At the school gate, he was greeted by the seniors. She remarked, you're a junior, I see. Jinsung replied respectfully, yes, Mom, I am. Another student standing with Zui whispered, isn't he the recruit, the only one in our school? Jinsung's face flushed. He hadn't expected so many people to know about him. It was embarrassing. The students with Zui mocked him relentlessly. He looks even stupider than we expected. I heard your idea is just a single dagger. Does it even have any special abilities? How did you even hold off and sung-ho with that? After this unpleasant encounter, Jinsung entered his classroom. But his day only got harder. He faced a mountain of chores, cleaning chalk dust from the boards, mopping the floors, scrubbing the classroom, all before anyone else arrived. The reason? Other students had offloaded their duties onto him. In this school, tasks were divided by day, but no one bothered to follow the rules. They treated him like a servant, a dog, a puppy, barking orders rather than respecting him. Some mocking him and saying that he is an S rank when it comes to letting someone's guard down. Beyond comes to Jinsung's desk and calls him trash, asking him to wake up. Jinsung is actually surprised as he is not punching him. It meant how no one was being physical anymore, but they were still making his life difficult by hiving him more orders. But still so many orders from everyone in his class he was getting tired already on top of cleaning that eventually the class bell rang, signaling the end of the period. Mister! Seo addressed the classroom, reminding everyone that today was the day to sign up for school clubs, a mandatory process for all juniors. Failure to join a club would lead to strict consequences. Park Jinsung felt a growing panic. Which club could accept him? Jinsung is thinking which club he should join. Just then Mercio's words were clear. Juniors who did not secure a club membership would have an individual meeting with him immediately. Jinsung knew if he failed to join a club, Mr. Seo could very well transfer him to another school. All the students were mocking him, saying who will accept a F rank in their club. Jinsung, on the other hand, was shocked to see the name of clubs and their requirements. All of them were either related to Ideia or military-related requirements. Looking at the club sheet is already absurd, and not being to fit in one is too. Every student in the classroom had already decided which club they would join. Every left go enjoying their choosing gropus, as they were already qualified. But Park Jinsung sat frozen in his chair, staring blankly at the registration sheet in his hand. His pulse thudded in his ears. Every club demanded a minimum rank of D or C. And he was an F rank barely scraping by in a school that valued strength above everything else. Then he saw it a single line near the bottom of a list, almost overlooked. Edge Teen Club, physical strength training only, Ideia not required. His heart skipped. This one doesn't use Ideia? It was the first time he'd seen a club that didn't care about power rankings. Maybe, just maybe, this was his only chance to avoid being transferred out. As he walked toward the gym where the Edge Teen Club was gathering, his mind buzzed with confusion. I don't get it, he thought. Why would one club be allowed to use the entire school gym? He was thinking if he is at wrong place, seeing such a big crowd in front of the HT Club gym, students chatting, some arguing, others simply curious. Jinsung couldn't make out what they were saying, but as soon as he stepped closer, the crowd noticed him. Look, dear Frank showed up. Someone called out. What's he doing here? Another snickered. A third voice asked mockingly, do we even need to be polite to someone ranked below us? Event how we are juniors. Now Jinsung is thinking, why are there so many people here anyway? Seeing so many people, he tries to retreat before he could retreat. A sudden wave of screaming broke out from the girls in the crowd. Oh my God. It's him, he's so cool. Jinsung curious. Then he saw the figure stepping out from the gym's open doors, broad-shouldered, calm, and unmistakably confident. His stomach dropped. It was in Sungo. Jinsung froze as their eyes met. Sungo's lips curled into a smirk. Jinsung was shoved forward by the crowd until he stood face to face with him. His voice cracked as he stammered. And Sungo, you're the president of this club? Sungo chuckled, tilting his head. Didn't expect to see you here. Jinsung, nice to see you again. Jinsung is now meeting the only person he wanted to avoid the most in this school. Jinsung tries to slip away from Sungo. He is danger for him. But Sungo stops Jinsung and asks him, "Where do you think you are going, Jinsung?" To which Jinsung whimperly replies, "I think I will join O." "The club. Ha ha ha. I will get going." Sungo asks Jinsung, "Are you really sure you don't want to try it out?" Sungo then adds that Jinsung, you came here because you thought not many people will join this club, right? And he is absolutely right on mark. Sungo asks Jinsung that he should try it out anyway, as he is not going to accept anyone easily. But Jinsung frankly says no, saying that he is a lot more worse than other students. Before Jinsung could even think about running away from Sungo, Sungo grabbed him by the collar and said firmly, "The entrance test begins now. I want you to try out with the other applicants." Without giving him a chance to protest, he dragged him away. Soon after, Sungo welcomed everyone participating and announced, "We have a lot of applicants this year as well. The test will now begin. It's quite simple. You just have to follow my exercise from start to finish. You'll do 30 burpees, 30 push-ups, 30 more burpees, and 30 squats. That's one set." The girls watching began fangirling about how cool he is. Some, however, were already worried. "Oh my God, is this just one set? I'm going to get in no matter what." But Park Jinsung was traumatized to death, wanting not to do it. If you finish 10 sets, you're in. Sungo called out, "Number 5 and number 6, you're out. Your form is terrible. No one could keep up with him. His speed and endurance were on another level. You must follow my pace," he commanded, voice steady even as everyone else struggled. Some of the applicants collapsed, gasping for air. "I can't do it, it's too hard," they muttered. Jinsung stared at Sungo in disbelief, thinking, how is this even human? He's not even tired. He must be a monster. He has to be one, or else how could he still do it? It is impossible. When everyone in Group 1 was defeated, Sungo announced, "There are no survivors from Group 1. Group 2, step up and begin your test." The members of Group 2, including Jinsung, hesitated. "I don't think I can do this." They all tried to push Jinsung to the front. "I don't want to be first," someone cried. "I don't want to do it either," Jinsung protested. But he was shoved forward anyway, stumbling. He fell right in front of Sungo. Their eyes met. Trying to break the awkward atmosphere, Jinsung joked, "Are you sure you're human? There's no way you're just a year older than me. How can you be so strong?" Sungo smirked. "That's not something for you to say, Jinsung. I know you're quite powerful." Jinsung was about to respond, but before he could, Sungo commanded, "Group 2, begin your test." Jinsung shouted again, "I don't want to do this," but he had no choice. Gritting his teeth, he followed along. Determined not to fail, this workout is brutal, he thought. "I've been training every day just to survive at school. I thought I was strong, but this guy isn't even human." Members of Group 2 dropped one after another, half dead from exhaustion. Sungo, surprised to see them still moving, said, "Not bad. Let's speed things up a little." The remaining members froze in terror. Soon, everyone except Jinsung collapsed. Watching in disbelief as Jinsung and Han Sungo continued, "Sungo's strength must be the best." "Out of everyone here," one whispered. One girl says, "Are you sure he's really an F rank?" Jinsung was drenched in sweat, struggling to breathe, but he kept going. "Why am I doing this again? I already trained at home." He thought miserably. "Shut up and focus," Sungo barked when Jinsung tried to speak. Someone asked, "How many sets have they done?" 7. A girl replied in amazement. Sungo's incredible, but the F rank isn't half bad either, Jinsung wondered. What's the point of all this? But Sungo's words cut through his thoughts. "I knew those reflexes, and that speed I saw last time weren't just luck. You can follow this too." With that, he sped up again. Everyone gasped. Jinsung clenched his fists and pushed harder, matching Sungo's pace. The crowd in the gym started to cheer. "He's keeping up with the great Han Sungo." How is that even possible? By the end of the session, Jinsung collapsed, but had completed all 30 sets. The gym burst into applause. "You did great competing with Han Sungo," someone shouted. Everyone is clapping and congratulating him for winning, panting heavily. Jinsung managed a weak smile. Sungo approached, offering his hand. "Welcome to Club HT." "Park Jinsung." Jinsung groaned. "I resign right now." Sungo ignored him completely, smiling. "No need to wait. You can come tomorrow." He's not even listening to me, Jinsung thought. He tried to speak again, but Sungo grabbed his hand tightly. It'll be twice as effective if we train together. I've been waiting for someone who can keep up. With me, Sungo said earnestly. Jinsung yanked his hand away. You told me you hated people like me. Why are you trying to get close to me now? Sungo replied calmly. It'll take you a year to become an official member. If you join my group, it'll be faster. He's not listening at all. Jinsung thought in frustration. I just wanted to join a small club and live quietly. The next day, sitting in class, Jinsung groaned. I don't want to go to that club. Why did I have to get in when everyone else failed? And why did it have to be Sungo's club? Now everyone was talking about him. Being the only one accepted made him a target of jealousy and mockery. Students bombarded him with questions. How did you get in when no one else could? Are you really an F rank? They teased him relentlessly. Meanwhile, Jinsung worried. If I don't go to the gym, Sungo will come looking for me. He tried to think of excuses not to go. But in the end, he knew it was useless. He'll just drag me there anyway, he sighed. As he was lost in thought, a girl called out to him. Startled, he looked up and thought, I've never seen anyone so pretty in my grade before. The girl approached him and asked, Are you in this class? I heard you introduced yourself here. She pointed at her badge, Corporal. He read aloud. Where's your badge? Park Jinsung, she asked. I don't have it, he said awkwardly. State your name and rank. She suddenly ordered in a loud voice, reflexively. Jinsung straightened up and shouted, Recruit Park Jinsung, Squad 3 of Platoon 10. Company 2 present, and saluted her. The girl blinked. Recruit? Damn it, Jinsung thought. The others made me say my name and rank so much that I just did it automatically. The girl sighed. Well, whatever. Nice to meet you. I'm Corporal Kim Se-yin. Nice to meet you, too, Jinsung replied nervously. But why'd you want to talk to me? Kim Se-yin replies, I'm joining Platoon 10 tomorrow. Oh, you're transferring here? Great. I guess we'll see each other often, he said, laughing awkwardly. I actually have somewhere to be. So I'll get going. But before he could leave, Kim Se-yin grabbed his bag and yanked him back against the wall. Wait, she said, blocking his path. Corporal, I really have somewhere I need to be right now, Jinsung said nervously. No, she replied firmly. I need you to take me somewhere. What do you mean? He's thinking nervously. I need a place to hide before Sungo finds me here. I don't have time for this, he muttered. Can't you ask someone else? No, I want you to help me. She insisted. We just met, he protested. Her eyes darkened, so she said coldly. She's terrifying, Jinsung thought. Okay, I'll show you. Where do you need to go? Take me to Sergeant Han Sungo, she said. Jinsung forced a smile. Perfect. I was just going to find him. Before he could finish, a familiar voice came from behind. Park Jinsung. His heart nearly stopped. Turning around slowly, he saw Sungo standing right behind him. You're not trying to skip practice, are you? Sungo asked sternly. And no, sir. I was just heading there. Jinsung stammered. Kim Se-yin looked at Sungo and asked boldly. Are you Sergeant Han Sungo? Sungo glared at her sharply. Aren't you a junior? You should really watch how you talk to your superior's officer, he said coldly. Kim Se-yin crossed her arms and replied coldly. I heard this school follows a military class-based system. I'll show you respect only if you're stronger than me. But I don't think you are, so I don't see any reason to give you respect. And Sungo, clearly annoyed, straightened his tie and said, You want me to prove it to you. His tone made it obvious that a fight could break out any moment. Both of them looked furious. Ready to go at each other. Then Se-yin suddenly asked Sungo, You aren't dating anyone, right? Jinsung blinked in confusion, wondering what she was talking about. Sungo frowned and replied, No, I'm not. Se-yin smirked. I knew it. You don't have a girlfriend. I don't like people like you, the ones with a stick up their ass. Sungo shot back immediately. Don't worry, I don't like you either. With an amused grin, Se-yin said, Then how about this? I can be your girlfriend, or your fiancé, or whatever you want. Sungo stared at her blankly and replied, Why would I want that? Se-yin's tone softened slightly. Because my family is really backward. I'm saying this for your benefit. But when she noticed Sungo's disinterest, she turned toward Jinsung instead. Then what about you? Do you want to go out with me? Jinsung froze. What am I supposed to say now? He thought nervously. Se-yin smiled as she noticed that they were the same height. I like it when I can look straight into a man's eyes, she said teasingly. Jinsung blushed, stuttering. I don't know, really. Sei-yin's eyes widened with surprise. She hadn't expected to see such a shy and innocent side of him, and now she found him even more adorable. She asked, what's your rank in idea and combat ability? Jinsung replied honestly, both of them are F rank. Sei-yin frowned. You're lying, right? But Jinsung wasn't lying. He was completely serious. Still, Sei-yin couldn't believe it. How can someone still be F rank until now? She asked. Before Jinsung could answer, Sungo cut her off sharply. Enough. Jinsung and I are going to train now, so I expect you to get out of my sight. Both of them went to the gym and started their workout. Jinsung, once again exhausted and traumatized, struggled to keep up. Sei-yin, watching them, remarked, I thought you guys were making an excuse to get rid of me, but I'm impressed. You're actually doing it. Jinsung looked at her desperately. Sei-yin, please, save me from Sungo's workouts. But Sei-yin shook her head. We're strangers, remember? Jinsung was stunned. She didn't act like we were strangers when she needed help in class. He thought bitterly. Sei-yin turned back to Sungo. Why are you training with a recruit? What's so special about him? Her voice was curious now, not mocking. You saw something in him. Didn't you? She pressed. Sungo's expression twitched slightly. But he replied, I don't know what you're talking about. Sei-yin smirked. You're hiding something about him, huh? Fine. If you won't tell me. I'll just ask Jinsung myself. She kept asking, so Sungo added saying that why does it feel like you want something from Jinsung? Jinsung said to Sai-yeon, who wants to hear a secret, it's my weakness that makes me so cute. I'm an F rank, you see. That's why I'm attractive. Both Sungo and Sei-yin stared at him in disdain after hearing something so cringeworthy. Without saying another word, Sungo grabbed Jinsung by the collar again. We've got more exercises to do. Let's go. Jinsung, completely defeated, could only cry in silence as he followed. Back in the classroom, Mr. Seo stood before everyone and announced, we have a new student joining our class today. Please come in, Sei-yin. Kim Sei-yin entered proudly, her presence immediately catching everyone's attention. Some students whispered, she's really pretty, while others muttered, isn't it weird to have a transfer in the middle of the semester? Mr. Seo told her, go join Group 1. There's an empty seat for you, as he was about to ask her to introduce herself. Sei-yin looked straight at Jinsung and said, I'll join Squad 3. But Squad 3 had no empty seats. Still, Sei-yin walked over to a boy sitting beside Jinsung and said, give me your seat. The boy frowned. Why should I? He asked defiantly. Sei-yin leaned closer. Her tone sharp and intimidating. Please, she said, but the look in her eyes was terrifying. The boy immediately gave up his seat and went to Group 1 instead. Byun Kiang, the squad captain, stood up angrily. Who do you think you are, doing whatever you want in my group? Sei-yin smirked. Do you have a higher rank than me? If not, keep quiet. Merz Seo sighed in annoyance. I guess I have no choice. If you want that seat, take it. Jinsung, however, looked uncomfortable sitting beside her. Sei-yin noticed and said quietly, you don't have to make it so obvious that you don't like me, okay? I thought we were closer before, but I guess not. Jinsung panicked. And no, it's not that. I do want to be friends with you. Mister. Seo then called out, Kim Sei-yin, please introduce yourself to the class. Sei-yin replied calmly, since I'm already seated, I'll introduce myself from here. Kiang, clearly irritated, barked, you should go to the front. Sei-yin turned to him with a smirk. Why should I? Everyone can hear me just fine. Then she said confidently, nice to meet you all. My name is Kim Sei-yin. Some students chuckled and mocked her under their breath, but the moment she continued, everything went silent. I'm a corporal, and my idea is White Jade Goblin. Every whisper stopped instantly. The students were stunned. Wait, did she just say White Jade Goblin? Is she for real? The White Jade Goblin in our class. The White Jade Goblin, the only idea ever successfully passed down through generations, belongs solely to the Kim family. Normally, ideas couldn't be inherited. Two souls couldn't share the same one. But the Kim clan had devoted their entire bloodline to mastering the same idea, passing it from one generation to the next. They gave up normal lives, dedicating themselves to combat, discipline, and skill. Their descendants were as radiant as white jade, But there was a tragic cost. Only daughters could inherit the idea, and fewer children were being born with that gift each generation. Kim Se-yin, the last descendant capable of wielding the white jade goblin, carried the weight of that entire legacy. The descendants were as radiant as white jade. Se-yin being the only person in this generation, being the only one who can wield a sword, has much greater responsibility. Everyone's hope from Kim clan is from her. Se-yin asked Mr. Seo if she can sit down. Back in class, Mr. Seo, impressed, decided to make Corporal Se-yin the vice captain of Squad 3. Byun Kiang immediately objected. She's a new transfer. She can't just be vice captain. But Mr. Seo silenced him sharply. Enough. Kiang gritted his teeth, swallowing his anger. Jinsung turned to Se-yin. You're really popular, huh? She smiled proudly. Of course. Same goes for you, Jinsung. I haven't met many guys like you, and frank. Jinsung chuckled bitterly. Yeah, I guess we're both pretty famous in our own ways. What we can do, right? I guess we both are same in different ways. Can Se-yin saying thank you for making him realize? Kiang is again gritting his teeth thinking, how dare some transfer student come in and do this to me? Looking back at Se-yin, he is filled with rage. He doesn't want anyone coming into his team and getting a special treatment. Kiang's jealousy grew. Everyone started whispering that Se-yin was far better than him. Stronger, smarter, more charismatic. All Kiang does in squad matches is give weird orders. One student scoffed, Se-yin's way better. She's practically a C-rank commander already. Hearing this, Kiang's eyes filled with rage and determination. I'll teach her a lesson. He thought, crumbling up the cup he had in his hand and just listening to everyone bad-mouthing him. He couldn't wait any longer. Later, Se-yin approached Jinsung again. Do you want to eat lunch together? She asked. Jinsung shook his head. I can't. I've got a lot of things to do. Se-yin frowned. I don't want to eat with anyone else. Just you. Jinsung says, I know you have many people wanting to eat with you. Jinsung replied, still, I'm busy. I need to erase the board, clean the erasers, mop the floors. There's too much for me to do. Listening to all the duties Jinsung has to do. Se-yin's expression changes, and then she is really confused and asks Jinsung, it sounds like a lot of work, but I'm sure doing our whole squad work wouldn't take that long. Right. She gets furious and asks Jinsung it is not possible that you are doing work for other squads, right? She is giving chills to Jinsung. Jinsung hesitated. It's faster this way. If too many people do it, it just becomes dramatic. Se-yin clenched her fists. Misunderstand. No, you just follow me. She grabbed Jinsung by the collar. Ignoring his protests, we're going to talk to those jerks who make you do their work. Jinsung tried to stop her, but she stormed over to the students. I have to ask you something, she said. They smirked. Yeah, sure, what do you want? Se-yin's eyes blazed. Why are you making your own team member do your work? Well, one of them started to reply, because he's an F-rank. But Se-yin covered his mouth and snapped. I don't want to hear excuses. It's cowardly to pick on someone weaker than you, and I don't intend to be a coward myself. Everyone froze in fear. If I catch you doing this again, she warned, you know what'll happen. The students quickly nodded. Okay, got it, they said nervously. Now apologize to Park Jinsung. One by one, they did. Then Se-yin turned to Mr. Seo to report what happened at Atma. Seo frowned. I didn't know that was happening to Jinsung, he admitted. From now on, I'll leave classroom organization to you. Se-yin smiled proudly. Yes, sir. I'll handle it. She immediately gathered her squad. I'm assigning cleaning duties now. You will do the classroom cleaning and you will do the mopping, but as the guys were gonna say that the F rank will do. Se-yin interrupts and say, do you have any problem with my commands? And they all said no. Se-yin then says, don't make Jinsung do it again. Byun Kiang overheard and called out, hey, Kim Se-yin. She turned unimpressed. What? He folded his arms. I can call you for no reason, can't I? I'm the captain. Se-yin smirked. Yeah? I can't wait to be the captain. That stung Kiang's pride. Meet me on the rooftop after school, he said coldly. We have something important to discuss about the squad. Se-yin nodded, not suspecting anything. But Jinsung, who had overheard everything, felt uneasy. Something's wrong, he thought. He quietly followed Se-yin after school, making sure she couldn't sense him. He is thinking of their meeting at rooftop. He sensed that something is not right. He couldn't trust his captain, Jinsung, listening really closely, but no one sensed him. Seiyin asked, "So what did you want to talk about?" Kiang sneered. "Why are you acting like you don't know? Are you really that dumb?" Around him stood several men, his subordinates, Kiang giving the smirky smile, feeling superior. Saiyan take a good look at how many people are there standing with Kiang. Saiyan smirked. "Wow, Captain, you're popular. Or are you just trying to talk to me alone?" Byun's grin darkened. "Looks like I'll have to teach our vice captain a lesson." Byun's temper snapped. "You still need to learn your place. I'll make you regret your arrogance." "Vice Captain," Saiyan's eyes narrowed. "You? Teach me a lesson?" Byun Kiang looks at Kim Saiyan and says coldly, "If you're second in command, don't you think you should follow your squad captain's orders?" Saiyan crosses her arms and smirks. "If you're stronger or smarter than me, then maybe I'd listen to you. Or if you could make better strategies and decisions than me. But if you act like some high-ranking leader and have neither of those, it'll be hard for me to give you the respect you want." Kiang's face twists in anger. Rage fills the air. Saiyan looks around at the people standing behind him and says, "Most of your ideas are short-range weapons, and they're undeveloped." Kiang scoffs. "Yeah, for someone like you with such a special idea. Ours must look downright pathetic." "Right, but Saiyan cuts him off. "You might think that way, but not me." The Fault-Tex Kiyun narrows his eyes. "Fine, let's cut the chit-chat. You know, if you take out your idea on school grounds and cause a ruckus, you'll be in trouble with the school. But these guys," he gestures to his group, "their ideas are so weak no one will even sense it if they use them. I've gathered 15 of them. And since your idea's power depends on your sword, you can't even use it properly here. That means these guys have the upper hand." He laughs, stepping forward. "I'm going to make you regret everything, Goblin." Saiyan tilts her head. "You know, the Sun Dog is pretty famous at our school. But everyone thinking that this is irrelevant questions. Then she asks, 'You know my idea rank?' Right, then tell me what you think my combat ability is." Everyone freezes. The question hangs in the air. No one dares to answer. Kiang laughs nervously. "Don't fall for it, guys. She's bluffing. How can you be scared of someone who doesn't even have a sword? There are 15 of us." "Don't let her scare you, get her?" Saiyan sighs. "You should have analyzed the field and commanded your squad like this during squad match, Captain. Did you forget what we learned in class? And a rank fighter can fight 100 people below her rank. Her aura flares. The white goblin horn appears on her forehead, the manifestation of her idea power. People with a rank and above are classified as a separate entity," she says calmly. "Because we're internally powered. And I can fight 100 people by myself." She smiles. "How many do you have again?" 15, right? Kiang shouts. "Don't let her intimidate you. She doesn't have a weapon. Attack her now." One of the guys rushes forward, swinging his idea toward Saiyan's head. She doesn't even move and the guy midair trying to do head. Attack on her, but Saiyan just catches him midair, effortlessly. "I like your courage," she says, "but don't you think you attacked her head-on?" The guy looking at her thinking, does he even stand a chance against her? But before that, Saiyan throws him aside with a single motion, sending him crashing into 2 others. All 3 roll across the rooftop. Groaning in pain, the rest hesitate, but Saiyan says, "You'd better all strike at once." And they do, 15 fighters charging. But Saiyan moves like a storm swift, graceful, unstoppable. Within moments, every one of them is on the ground, as all of their ideas were low rank C or D. They kind of knew they never stood a chance before her. Now Saiyan was the only person standing from those 15 guys, looking if there is still someone who wants to try and beat her again. The first guy she threw stands up weakly and mutters, as expected from an rank, "We don't stand a chance." Saiyan walks up to him and says softly, "You'll never become an rank if you give up that easily, buddy." But the guy yells back, "What do you know? You were born blessed. How could someone born with privilege like you understand? You were born a genius, with a golden spoon. You'll never know what it feels like to struggle." Saiyan's expression hardens. "Yeah, I've heard that before." She says quietly, "But my overall compatibility used to be D rank." Kiang laughs mockingly. "You, a D rank? Don't lie. Everyone in the country knows your family. You expect us to believe that?" Kiang is really fused with rage now, thinking what nonsense is she spouting now. Seiyan shrugs. Yeah. Hard to believe, huh? How could an rank have a D rank compatibility? I must have been really bad. She takes a breath. But I never wanted to be a sword master. My sword wanted me to be one. So I had no choice. Whether you believe it or not, everything I am is the result of my hard work, everything I sacrificed to be here now. Nothing matters anymore now. Sayonara. Kyung sneers. Show up, everyone attack her again. Everyone starts running towards Saiyan, and Saiyan not batting an eye. Saiyan smirks. Even without a weapon, you're still no match for me. And once again, she defeats everyone who charges her. One by one, they all fall. Now only Kyung is left. Saiyan steps forward. You're the only one left, Captain. Let's finish this. Kyung grins darkly. Yeah, let's see who wins, Goblin. He tilts his head. Eyes full of malice. Let's end this. Let's see who wins this fight, you or me. Saiyan not being. Aware of Kyung's malice, Saiyan feels uneasy. Why is he so confident? Is he hiding something? She thinks. She swings her fist toward him, full power. Kyung smirks. She fell for it. He shifts slightly, letting her punch aim straight for his face. Perfect. He thinks, if she hits me, she'll be punished for school violence. Suspended, maybe expelled, but before the blow lands her. Hand appears between Saiyan's fist and Kyung's face. It stops her mid-dash swing that it's Park Jinsung. As expected, Kyung was hitting something up his sleeves, but before the blow lands, a hand appears between Saiyan's fist and Kyung's face. It stops her mid-dash swing that it's Park Jinsung. Saiyan freezes. Oh my God, I was so close. Jinsung then stands beside Kyung, and as he was about to ask something, Jinsung stands there, casually stepping on Kyung's hand. Oops. My bad, Captain. You okay? Kyung snarls. Did you bring this trash with you? Saiyan frowns. Now he must have followed me or sneaked in. Well, I was busy, but I don't know. Jinsung sighs dramatically. My life's so sad. No one's ever happy to see me. Saiyan hides a smirk impressed by how quickly Jinsung deflected the attention. He even stopped my punch, ran straight from the door to where I am standing, and was even able to stop the punch right it was close to Kyung's face. But how she thinks. That was a full swing. How did an F rank move that fast? Then she notices something in her hand, small pieces of plastic. What's this? Kyung stands, furious. Who do you think you are, interfering with us? Jinsung lifts his hands defensively. I didn't do anything. I was just saving your face, Captain. Saiyan laughs. Yeah, he's right. This cute recruit just protected your ugly face. Your little scheme's over. Kyung's face turns red. Who said that? I recorded everything. But Jinsung points to the ground. You mean that camera? Everyone looks down the cameras in pieces, shattered. Oh, Jinsung says innocently, that was a camera? I thought it was decoration. Sorry, didn't know it was yours. Saiyan grabs Jinsung by the collar. How did you stop my punch, huh? Jinsung, panicking, says, I was just helping. Please don't grab me like that. One of the beaten guys groans. Can't believe an F rank destroyed the captain's camera. Does higher rank come with good luck too? Saiyan chuckles. Hey, look at this F rank, he is also doing a good job with his idea. Don't give up so soon on your ideas, okay? And stop whining about your low rank. You are not lower than him. Right. She slams the rooftop door behind her. Kyung is left standing there, surrounded by his fallen squad mates, humiliated, furious, and broken. The scene opens in darkness. Voices echo all around, terrified, trembling, and chaotic. Someone screams, please don't come any closer. I see a knife, tainted with someone's blood. Another voice yells. You're a monster. Monster, don't come closer. Someone standing in all that bloodshot, dripped with blood all over. When that person with knife was walking, he was leaving bloody footprints all over. In the moonlight, everything was red, the walls, the floor. In that dazzling moonlight, Jinsung was the one who was actually standing with a knife, trying to kill his uncle and aunt. With smirky face, Jinsung asked his uncle, aren't I being a good boy? Tell me, my dear uncle. But in actual, Jinsung was dreaming the accident that happened when he was 10 years old and was living with H's uncle. He was not happy to have this dream today, too. His hand on his and him being upset and thinking, why did I have to dream about it today? Back to school, Jinsung is quiet, still haunted. Kim Saiyan notices and leans over her desk. Hey, are you okay? You look completely out of it. Jinsung gives a tired half smile. Yeah, just tired. It's fine. He glances at her again and asks, "Do you even know where we're going today?" Saying shrugs and says our teacher told the captain everything. But from what I heard, we're supposed to have a joint session with the emergency medical division. A few minutes later, the team gathers outside a tall glass building with bold letters reading Nara Bank. They wait for the other group to arrive when the second team finally shows up. One of the students from other squad laughs. "Oh, you guys made it. But you're so late. My first time seeing students from another division. The tone is light. But Byun Kiang, the captain, steps forward, irritation already simmering. Who are you guys?" He demands. The other team doesn't answer. One of them smirks. "We're here to see Kim Se-in. She's a genius and super pretty, too." Kiang's face hardens. Kim Se-in is second in command. "You talk to me first. I'm the captain." The boys laugh louder. Kiang clenches his jaw. "I'm not repeating myself. Tell me who you are now." Before the situation escalates, another voice breaks in. "Come on, don't tease them." The other team guy, who is sparkly handsome, says, stepping forward, "Sorry, we got carried away." Offers a handshake. "Nice to meet you. I'm Lee Songwa." Kiang slaps his hand away. "Shut up and explain what's going on, trash." Se-in steps between them. "Both of you, calm down. We're not losing points over a pointless fight." Sayon tells the Songwa that he also needs to look at surrounding, not just Kiang, got it? Songwa is surprised to Sayon for first time. "So you're Kim Se-in. I've heard about you." Se-in crosses her arms. "We were supposed to have a joint class with the emergency medical unit. Why are students from Seo-Ying here instead?" Songwa scratches the back of his neck. "Yeah, about that. Apparently, we're the ones assigned to this session now." "We don't know much either. Just that both schools have something to do with this place." He gestures toward the massive Nara Bank building. "Guess we'll find out inside." While entering the Nara Bank, they see bodyguards standing in front of the bank. They were actually quite huge and tough-looking. The bodyguards were looking at the kids' team. Sayon goes to the bodyguard and introduces herself really politely. The guards actually like Se-yeon's personality, saying she is quite bold and young. One of the bodyguards even asked her if she would like to work for them in future. But Se-yeon politely declines. The students were then directed to their positions. Se-yeon couldn't help think, what could a bunch of students really do in a bank? I guess I'll just relax. Se-yeon tries talking with Songwa as he's the leader of medical emergency team. She tells him we should divide our team into small squads, even if it is for show. Let's do our best, okay? The bank employees are having their usual chats with the students, asking them for snacks. Se-yeon is actually quite amused seeing other squad members, as they were literally behaving like kids at that point. Then one of the bank employees comes to Se-yeon and tells her, "Do you guys want to join us for drinks? There is a coffee machine and some snacks for you guys." Listening the name of drinks, Se-yeon is feeling quite hungry herself. Leaving her sword there, she thinks what worst could happen if she enjoys a little. Without any worries, that leaves her checking point and on the other side. In-sung stood at the corner, glancing at the relaxed students. Everyone's let their guard down, he thought. While he was thinking, Songwa suddenly appeared beside him. "Hey," he said loudly. Jinsung flinched, startled. "You and Se-yeon were together earlier, right?" Songwa asked. Jinsung blinked. "This guy's from another school. Why does he care?" Then, smirking, he said, "Oh, I get it. You want me to tell her you like her, huh?" "Passing along messages is my specialty." Seong-ho waved his hands. No, it's not like that." "Then what do you want from me?" Jinsung asked curiously. Seong-ho paused, then smiled. "I'm interested in you." While Jinsung was shocked, Sung-ho simply grinned and said, "Come on, let's grab a drink." I saw a vending machine nearby. Jinsung hesitated for a moment, wondering if he should report it to Se-yeon or Byun Kiao, but then shrugged. Nothing's going to happen anyway, so. The two of them left their posts and walked over to the vending area. Jinsung was enjoying his favorite drink, and first time in today his mood was really good. But Songwa suddenly started asking Jinsung something. "Are you some hidden ace of Hyundai school or what?" This made Jinsung spill his drink out with. "Surprise! Ace me? No way. I'm not nearly as confident as I might look." Sungho's gaze sharpened. "You're hiding something, aren't you?" Jinsung smiled faintly. "My motto in life is to go with the flow. So don't mind me. I'm just a simple guy." Songwa said that's an interesting mindset. "What's your overall combat rank?" F rank. Jinsung replied confidently, with a cool pose being proud of his idea. Sam was surprised. Are you seriously an F rank? You're kidding, right? Jinsung boosts again, saying my combat ability and idea are both F rank. Just then, Jinsung casually tossed his empty can into a distant trash bin, and it landed perfectly with a satisfying clang. Sungo's eyes widened. Oh, that was awesome. How did you do that? Jinsung shrugged. It's just an empty can. Easier to throw. Sanwa, being so impressed, wants to learn it too. No, really. Sanwa insisted, grabbing his own can. He tried to mimic Jinsung, but the can bounced off the rim and rolled away. See? It's harder than it looks. Sun was saying to Jinsung that his combat ability wasn't much, so he had to shift to medical team. He then normally questions Jinsung how was he able to survive until now with such low rank. Jinsung, avoiding telling truth, tells Songwa that it was possible by others' help and luck. Jinsung, excited, asks Songwa what his idea is. When he brings out the idea, Jinsung is surprised. It is the knife hands, which is actually a pretty good idea. But Songwa says he wasn't able to develop new techniques and go up in ranks. Jinsung sensed that. That's why he was asking him all those questions about his survival with that frank idea. But he tells Songwa to be in medical section, and he will at least get to save lots of people's life. Saving lives is a blessing on its own. Different than fighting ability, but on same level. Songwa was happy to get advice from Jinsung. He told Songwa that he should take his time and think about it for real. Jinsung was not showing, but was quite jealous of the fact that he cannot save people's life with his own idea. Meanwhile, outside the bank, the teachers from both schools were gathered. Mr. Seo arrived late. One of the teachers from the other school smiled. It's fine. The students are inside. Should we start grading them? Mr. Seo frowned. But they haven't done anything yet in there. Training program. How do I grade them? The teacher shrugged. We'll just score them based on what we think they'd do. Of course, you're absolutely right. The two exchanged polite smiles, pretending to be in perfect sync. Inside the bank, the students were starting to grow restless, saying, "This is so boring." One of them muttered, "There's nothing to do." Another suggested, half-jokingly, "How about we play a game of rock, paper, scissors?" Outside, three shadowy figures were walking slowly toward the building. The red-haired student near the entrance squinted. Hey, someone's coming. Their movements were strange steady. But wrong somehow, they weren't dressed like civilians or security staff. There was something off. About them. The bank's bodyguard noticed it immediately. His instincts kicked in, and his expression turned grim. "Everyone, stay back," he shouted, running toward the door. "Get away from the entrance now." The students turned. Confused by his sudden panic, the bodyguard reached for his idea, summoning it in a flash of energy. A long, translucent shield shimmered into existence as he blocked the first strike because one of the strangers had drawn a blade. The sound of impact was deafening. The entire front lobby shook as steel met steel. The students froze, eyes wide with disbelief. Was this part of the training? Someone whispered. But the horror on the face of attacker said otherwise. The attacker's power was overwhelming. "Everyone get out through the back door," bodyguard shouted desperately. "Run." But none of the students were able to move. And in the end, the bodyguards was killed by the attacker. The final blow came swift and merciless. The shield shattered, fragments scattering like glass. Within seconds, the bodyguard fell lifeless. The killer stepped forward, calm and composed. "Excuse us," one of them said mockingly. The bodyguards who remained rushed forward to defend the students, summoning their own ideas. The tension in the room thickened as the air filled with energy and fear. The leader of attackers tilted his head and grinned. "You guys look strong," he said, cracking his knuckles. "Feels like this might be fun." One of the bodyguard asked the killer, "Are you guys from North Korea? Are you guys secret agents or what?" But the attacker get upset and says, "I'm just here to earn some money. Not in secret agent you guys think me of, okay?" All tape bodyguards ready to protect the kids gets into formation to fight. Everyone acts pretty serious, not knowing what the attackers might pull off. But the attacker's leader said in an upset and angered tone, "Didn't you guys hear me fill up this bag? Listen to me while I am still being nice to you." But in the fit of anger, one of the bodyguard asked the leader of the attackers to shut up. To which the attackers replies in mockery saying, "I think people here do have some hearing and vision problems. Why? You guys don't have either strength or numbers. Sayon, standing just behind the bodyguards, could sense that the bodyguards are no match for the attacker leader. We guys don't stand a chance in front of him. But the bodyguards bring out their ideas, and some of them have shields. But Sayon rushed towards them, asking them to run and hide behind her, or else they might die. But with just one strike of the leader, all bodyguards' shields and ideas were destroyed and killed. Sayon had no choice but look at the blood all over the bodies. Sayon, in utter shock and disbelief, cannot believe what she just saw. Event how the guys would be rank, and attacker's idea was strong. But how was he able to cut through all of them in one strike? The attacker was not so amused after the strike and defeating bodyguards, saying that peaceful life have made you all the soft. It was a lot easier for me. Questioning that our useless people are even allowed to be bodyguards. Sayon, being quick thinker, shout to everyone to run for cover. Find the best cover they can in this place. All the students started running as far they could from the attackers. Sayon continues, run to the desk, the chairs, or pillars. Whatever thing you think can save you from fatal blows. But the attacker was not even wavering for a moment. His motive for coming to the bank was sure. Sayon then asked the remaining captions and vice captions to take out their ideas and tell them to handle the situation independently. But the attacker wasn't taking the situation seriously and asked the kids if he can actually get any money now or not. Sayon asked the kids hiding to not mess up the situation by answering and fulfilling the order the attacker just gave. Now Sayon was stuck deep in problem, thinking how can she save the kids behind her, not being sure if she can fight the man standing in front of her. The men called Sayon comrade and asked her, "What is your name?" Sayon met him that her name is Kim Sayon. The attacker looks at her saying, "You bold of you. I feel like you can tell me what do I have to do for you guys to give me money." But Kim Sayon asked another question rather than replying. "Are you guys spies because they don't look like robbers?" She is doubting that these guys' motive is something else. They are not here for money, right? The attacker, amused, smiles and says, "You all keep saying us being secret agents. So I guess I should tell you by myself we are right one." The man giving the chilly vibes says, "We are the great plague." He was feeling very proud by telling that. But Sayon is shocked, thinking of these guys here pest. They have unclear motives, unclear origin, unidentified ethnicity and status. These guys are inhuman. They kill for their love for killing and blood. Their unclear motives is what makes them dangerous. Not even a single Ed is left alive where these guys kill. All the students, shocked and scared for their life, thinking what is Pest doing here? What is their real motive to come here? But the attack gets upset after listening that kids are associating them with Pest, mocking them again, saying that you guys are letting USA influence you a lot. Some kids were thinking about just saving themselves and decided if they fill up the bag with money, maybe these will let them go. Attacker is surprised by the sudden willingness of kids, as they are thinking of filling the bag. But Kim Sayon, being the only sober one, asks everyone to please calm down, telling them that there is no guarantee these attackers will let them live even if they fill the bag. Killer, saying he knows her family, Sayon says, "If you do, then it's much better for me," and ask him for a duel without anyone interrupting. But if his rest of members attacks her in middle of the duel, then she stands no chance. The leader, on other hand, being quite amused and impressed by Sayon's boldness, asking her if he should really fall for her trap or no. She then starts trying to focus the attacker's attention on her and says, "Well, I just wanted to fight with you, but if you guys want to come all together, then I have no chance." Killer, looking at Sayon's horn, saying having goblin's traits in you. "Definitely you are going to be a crazy one, right?" Sayon, getting impatient, asks the attacker to shut his mouth and say in aggressive tone, "Are you going to fight me or not, punk?" The attacker is so amused right now. Seeing such a crazy opponent is making him insanely happy. It's not like he will get to fight another goblin anytime soon. He made up his mind and tell his team members to not interrupt them. And now he is ready to take on the goblin. Sayon felt that the attacker was mocking at her by letting her attack first, thinking it's actually good he let her have the duel with him. Well, it doesn't feel like he will break his promise, and if she beats him, she might be able to save everyone. But as Sayon went to grab her sword, it wasn't where she usually puts it. Panicked, Sayon realizes that she actually put it the pot she was guarding the first time. But the attacker doesn't wait for her and unleashes full swing, saying, "If you don't, I will. Strike first." Sayan quick response saved her, and she dodges the attack. But with such force the building started breaking and the barriers started falling. And crashing on top of Sayan, and now one another thing Sayan had to dodge was the broken pieces from pillar and walls. But she gets no idea, and not having sword, she picked up the debris and throwed it at the attacker. But he wasn't surprised and attacked while the debris pieces are falling on him. He goes with full force and attack again and smirks, saying, "Are you sure your soul isn't squirrel instead of goblins?" All the students hiding starts whispering. Kim Sayan used putting a really good fight. Something which they expected caused she is a Peschel, but Jinsung being the only sane one. Thinks he can't just sit and cheer for Sayan. He will have to do something. And he goes to Songhwa and with serious expression he tells him, "This isn't good for us at all. We need to run away as fast as we can right now." But Songhwa questions Jinsung's judgment. Jinsung saying we have to go upstairs and hide either in bathrooms or in employee cabinets, anywhere, and he thinks that's best for them. As Sayan is trying her best to fight with the attacker's leader, and he thinks it is their duty. To but as much time as they can. Thinking he isn't sure until what time can Sayan hold off that attacker. He looks really strong, and also she doesn't have her sword. Sayan doesn't have many chosies. She ends up coughing blood with the last blow she took from attacker, and all the students are. Afraid for their own lives now seeing Sayan losing. Attacker smirkingly asks Sayan, "Do you have anything else to show me, Goblin?" Sayan, such strong soul, still tries her best to buy more time. But just as the attacker was about to say something, a loud voice interrupts. Everyone scatter, and with that everything is mess. And Jinsung grabs Songhwa by collar and drags him towards upstairs, trying his best at helping people. Everyone following Jinsung's command and running as far as they could, trying to go upstairs, and just then the attacker's leader would give order to his subordinates that, "Make sure you catch one and everyone one of those little rats." And so the attackers start running after the kids, and the attacker warned the rest of the kids to not move from their place. Sayan being beaten up and thinking, is it good thing that they are just bringing them back but not killing them? Or maybe he will kill after. The leader of attackers compliments Sayan by saying she is quite strong and a lot more useful than he thought. He then goes and asks her if she wants to be on his side. Sayan is actually surprised and says thanks but no. The attacker let out a sigh and saying think about it. There are a truckload of girls who want to be his wife. But Sayan still saying no, and also adding that she doesn't want to be with a criminal. But when attacker tells Sayan that he is Kim Il-jeong, Sayan is surprised to the shit. Kuzi is next in line to become the shining son of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Sayan just couldn't believe what she just heard. Kuzi is none other than the supreme leader of North Korea and commander of North Korea's army. Though Il-jeong Kanchi saying, Kuzi had been preparing himself to be the successor, he needs a wife who can be on par with him and help him in his work. Sayan thinking and sweating, what is Kim Il-jeong doing in South Korea? Seeing Sayan taking steps backward, though Il-jeong asks her why she is going back. Sayan giving reply still with courage, will I get a reward if I capture you Kim Il-jeong, since you are a worldwide criminal? Il-jeong laughs so hard on Sayan's comment and saying, you're brave even in this situation, how impressive. Il-jeong on other hand thinking it is a good thing he came here, as he was planning not to come. Thinking maybe the higher-ups knew what kind of students were here today, so they could stomp on them and weed out the seeds before they become a threat to them. Il-jeong warned Sayan to make the right choice to save her life. But astonishingly, Sayan was actually stalling time to go near here her sword and pick it up for fight, and it actually worked. And she swings her sword with her feet, and Il-jeong is shocked with Sayan's action. Sayan was thinking good thing the fight didn't finish right off. Probably because she is still young and full with power. Sayan can finally unleash her full power by using the Goblin Idea and sword. Goblin's best trait is being undefeatable sword master. Event how the students tried their best for running as far they could, being still underdeveloped, they were still caught by the Il-jeong's partners. On the other side, Jinsung and Songhwa are actually hiding in the bathroom, as that's the best they could do. Jinsung passes a comment saying, the bank's washrooms look so clean right. But seeing Jinsung being so carefree, Songhwa lashes out at him. We are just at 5th floor. Let's go more up. But Jinsung tries his best to calm down Songhwa, saying, "Let's catch our breath first, okay?" Songhwa asks Jinsung, "Why are you not stressed or scared? Are you hiding something from me?" as he doesn't seem worried at all by the situation. But Songhwa had no choice but to stay silent. He still tells Jinsung if they stay here, they will get caught by those killers, saying it's best if they also run away like others. But Jinsung is actually not listening that seriously. He has filled other thoughts, worrying about Sai-yeon, who is fighting that demon. Jinsung gets annoyed by Songhwa's demands and asks him to please stop saying anything about running, saying we actually need to fight those killer. Songhwa gives a shocking expression and says, "Don, do you see those guards who were killed just a few minutes ago, Jinsung? How can we fight them?" Jinsung asks Songhwa the same question he asks everyone. "Do you think souls have?" Rank 2, Songhwa, not caring for Jinsung's feelings, says him, "What is he talking about?" Jinsung adds that he heard something recently. Seon's combat ability used to be a D rank, but now she is a 1 rank. Don't Songhwa thinks that? The value of people should be based on their souls, not idea. But Songhwa have no plans listening to him. He is panicked to death by listening to the footsteps coming closer. Songhwa panics more, thinking what should he do? Where do they go and hide now? Jinsung grabs Songhwa's collar and pull him near and whisper to him with such a serious tone, "Just trust me and do what I say." The killer comes in saying that he knows you guys are here and they should better knock him out. Killer enjoying his time trying to kill these pests and making them beg for their life, telling Jinsung and Songhwa that their leader doesn't like lazy people. Jinsung comes forward and says to the killer that can he teach him how to talk like there's way he is doing. But the killer angrily orders them to come out, and he will break their arms and legs. But Jinsung, not being scared, says, "You are a lot more talkative than I thought you would be, that's great." But the killer gets angry, and just then Jinsung brings out his Idea dagger and points it at the killer's comrade, saying he will take him on. Killer, thinking Jinsung is playing some kind of joke with him by bringing out a kid's toy. And then he turns on his Idea and orders Jinsung to drop down his act, knowing what's good for him in this situation. And after that he runs so fast and covers the gap between him and Jinsung in milliseconds. Jinsung orders Songhwa to not to forget their plan and run as soon as he engages in a fight. Jinsung, seeing the killer charging at him, turns on his Idea, which is the killer's desire. A dark aura surrounds Jinsung, and he is giving her the same scary vibes he gave off with Sungo's fight. His heart starts pounding so fast that he can't hear anything else. His movements and powers are boosted 3 times more than usual. You can see the killer's move with the time around him moving in slow motion. Jinsung dodges the killer attack and feels sorry for the killer, and the killer, being surprised by sudden sharpness of Jinsung, looks at him and was getting ready for next attack, when Jinsung gives him a surprise attack and stabs him in his stomach, but he doesn't stop there. He keeps on stabbing the killer and laughing like a maniac and saying sorry continuously. Killer, taking so many damages, have no energy left to stop Jinsung and falls onto the ground. Jinsung looks down on the killer and looks at him with amusing eyes as he's looking at his prey. Jinsung, surprised at the killer's power, asks him question. It must be so nice to be able to run 100 kilometers in seconds, right? Now the killer is surprised as to how can Jinsung see his Idea. Jinsung went all mode crazy after turning his Idea on, thinking and saying, "What if I cut your Achilles tendon? Will you be able to run?" Or what if he destroys his Idea and see what will happen to him? He looks so scary, even more than the killer themselves, while saying that and still stabbing the killer. Songhwa, being frozen at one place after seeing such a sight of Jinsung, and just cannot digest, is this the same Jinsung he was talking to just a few seconds ago? And he calls out Jinsung. Jinsung stops his stabbing and looks above with blood all over his face, and say in menacing voice, "Yes, Songhwa." Songhwa sat trembling at listening to just mere few words coming out of Jinsung's mouth, while he was holding the bloody knife. Using his killer desire Idea, Jinsung isn't able to differentiate between friend and foe. And looking at Songhwa with the look of him being his next prey for amusement was enough to send him chills down to his bones. He mustered up his courage and asked Jinsung to stop and run with him now. But Jinsung stops and says, "I think you have got it wrong. That you who should run from me, Songhwa." "Answer me, Songhwa." Jinsung shouts at Songhwa, who was more terrified to lose his life from Jinsung, because once he uses his Idea, he either have to kill the opponent or their Idea. Turning off his idea was never in his hand, and now Songwei has to do one thing, which is to run from Jinsung.